one of the first ways that we begin to see an evolution take place in the culture. The artist actually draws it before we can ever language it or write it.
Overwhelmed with the thought of how many clocks stopped in Inglewood, Compton, Los Scandalous, and Watts.
We have to create a rule in the neighborhood in which, regardless of what happens, no lives shall be taken.
But I like the concept of writing the unwritten.
Yeah, man.
Because then once you write the unwritten, you can rewrite it. As it is now, you can't rewrite shit.
Yeah, it's like there's a rule that we ain't create, you know? It's laws that we ain't create, but everybody got to abide by them. It's like, well, who wrote it? It's like, I don't know. You ask cats on the streets, like, you know, what are the rules of the streets? They be like, they tell you a line from a rap song or something. You know what I'm saying? Because nobody don't know. That's why I'm like, well, why don't we just get together and let's define them for us, you know? And it becomes a covenant in which we live by. And then if somebody breaks the rule, then we know what to do, you know? But man, I'm like this, I'm tired of, you know, of being a slave, you know, to something else that somebody else created a long time ago, you know?
And we have to create a rule in the neighborhood in which, regardless of what happens, no lives shall be taken. One of the real epiphanies that really called all of the work that I had been doing for 16 years on the front line in the neighborhood, negotiating, you know, peace between warring neighborhoods and negotiating conflicts between, you know, warring individuals, was when, you know, my son Terrell, back in 2004 when he was murdered. 18 years old, I was happy to get him out of the neighborhood. He went to Humboldt State University, came home with his friends and wanted to actually move back to LA, and I was totally against it. Went to a party over in Ladera Heights, you know, affluent black neighborhood, and was shot to death at a party by a so-called gang member, actually a kid who was only 17 years old. Totally broke my heart, man. And, you know, a lot of times you hear people say that, you know, if somebody was to take mine, like, I don't know how I would respond. And for me, you know, because I had been doing this work so long and I had really good people in my life, the first question that came up for me was, what's the gift in this tragedy? This idea of a reverence movement is a conversation. It's a movement of a heart.
The next brother, he owns the spot in Inglewood, very much involved in the community. They allow the community a space to speak. He puts it so eloquently that he's a field poet, right? It's a field poet. He's gonna tell you what it's about. Please put your hands together for Food for Thought.
I'm about to just share a few pieces with y'all and just thinking out loud. That's what we're gonna call this. It's kind of unscripted. Please forgive me if I butcher it, but we're gonna just do this in the name of reverence. Cool?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Word.
Yesteryear was the year of revelation and reflection while pacing the block. Overwhelmed with the thought of how many clocks stopped in Inglewood, Compton, Los Scandalous, and Watts. I used to take it one day at a time while blowing Dodo to Hendrix. Now I take it 1 hour at a time. And the good brother said, count the minutes, cause life is short and death is sudden. In the hood, youngsters are prone to unfriendly fire. So I shakes it up and takes it down like a shot of 100 proof. Belvedere vodka, grabbing an axe and whacking the bush for not bringing home the troops. Oh yeah, they'll fuck ya in these United Snakes of America, where we eat in the homeless face and turn away when they stare at ya. Mad cause they asking you for spare change. But if you was in their position, you'll be doing the same thing. Speak easy and knock on wood, cause life can change in the blink of an eye. Please believe that. Young man, pull up your pants, put down the drink, think. Stop asking where the weed at. The Marcus Garvey story, yeah? You should read that. And discuss it amongst your peeps so you can receive feedback. And ladies, Know that I love y'all. Forgive me if I ever put something above y'all. Other than my kid, I must have been crazy. But stop blaming men for not taking care of their babies. Truth be told, you knew he was a deadbeat way before you let him skeet.
To me, the Reverence Movement is the final frontier. You know, it's a movement of the heart. And what I mean by a movement of the heart, it's a movement of the etheric energy of the heart.
And you wrap everything together with the affirmations and the feathers and the sage and everything, and you know, whatever it is that you're calling into your life, you can kind of swaddle your prayers in this.
You know, there is an electromagnetic force that exists within the body that permeates the blood and that actually pulls the blood throughout the body. This electromagnetic force, it has to be moved in order for space to be made in the heart and the imagination for new things to enter.
We call this our civil disobedience project because we didn't get any type of approvals from the homeowners associations, the city, law enforcement, nobody. We decided that we wanted to take back our community and beautify it. As I think I've shared before, that colors affects a person's physiological outlook of the world, you know? When the colonizers first came to, to Africa and also to South and Central America, the places were vibrantly colored because colors wakes up the imagination. And so, we wanted to do something on this particular space in the neighborhood. This is the main thoroughfare in the community. All of the traffic, everybody drives by and through this particular place. We wanted to set it up so that it was like a beautiful place to be, that folks would actually come and sit here because you can get a real good breeze sitting right here, during the day and everything. And and this is kind of like the precursor to us hopefully doing all of these small walls, all the way around the neighborhood. Raverism. Yeah. So
What do people smell? What do you smell right now?
right now you smell paint floating through the air. We got about 15 young people that's been working on the project all day today. So this is something also that they can look back on and say, hey, I made a contribution to this community. I made a contribution to the change that needed to happen in this neighborhood, and so that's what that's what this is about.